Okay, today we are taking a look at the Huawei Ascend Plus. This is an all-new CDMA device from Straight Talk. This one, what's special about this one over the previous Huawei Ascends that they offer is the fact that this one comes with Android 4.0. It also has a 1 gig processor. So that's an improvement over the previous models that came with the 800 megahertz processor. And then finally, this one has a 4-inch screen, whereas the other ones, I believe, are all 3.5-inch screens. Now, this is a CDA model, so Straight Talk will activate this with either Verizon or Sprint. And it retails for $149, I believe. So it is quite more expensive than the other Huawei's, which are all at $100. But so far, I would say that this phone is well worth the money because it's really nothing like those previous phones. I already mentioned the processor and screen upgrade, as well as the Android 4.0 upgrade. But one of the main things on this phone that I like about this phone is that the phone is a whole lot more pleasant to look at than the previous Ascends offered by Straight Talk. Now it does have a fairly familiar layout with the 3 Android buttons, but these are capacitive touch. I think a couple of the previous Huawei's had like a physical push button. This one does not. So this one's more, you know, what you kind of come to expect on like some of the Samsungs and LGs. Now as far as the layout goes, you know, it's pretty standard. On the left here, you got your charge data port. On the top, you got the power and lock button here, your usual 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and your volume. Now, as kind of has become the case on most of these phones, this one does not come with a dedicated camera button. Now, measurements wise, this is a relatively larger phone than the previous ones, as I mentioned, and we'll go ahead and measure the phone here for you. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the screen is 4-inch measured diagonally. So see, I'm registering a little bit less than 4, but it is basically 4 inches. The width on this one is 2.5. The height is almost 5 inches. So we got 4.9, 4.89, and the thickness is a little bit less than half. So we got 0.45. Now, so you get a sense of the size. Here's a playing card. So as you can see, it's considerably taller than a playing card, and width-wise, not too bad. It's just about as wide as a playing card. So again, this is a much larger Ascend phone than the previous models. And now we'll go ahead and weigh it for you. It's a little bit less than 5 ounces, so it is a little bit on the heavy side. Scale says 4.9. So again, it's a little bit heavier than your typical compact size Android, which are usually about a ½ ounce less. Now, construction wise, feels very solid. I like the quality on this one. The other ones, for some reason, the previous Ascends, they kind of felt cheap to me, but this one's got a good weight to it. And one of the things that I like about it is the fact that the side and back of the phone has that rubberized feel to it. So not just the back, you also get that on the sides here, all around. Now the screen is plastic, as you would expect on a phone like this, but you know, it is a pretty bright screen and pretty crisp. So I really do like the screen, despite the fact that it's plastic. Now, when you buy this phone from Straight Talk, you get the typical you know, data cable and AC plug, and you also get a headphone slash speaker for hands-free operation. And the reason, really, I think they included the headphone is because the phone does have an FM radio that needs them, which I'll show you here in a minute. Now, as I mentioned, this one comes with Android 4.0, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that on the About phone. So as you can see, 4.0.4, and this one is a little bit different interface than some of the earlier 4.0s that I played around with, particularly the LGs. This one's kind of got the very similar UI to the 2.3, whereas everything just kind of scrolls side to side. And this phone is very smooth, by the way. Android 4.0 and a 1 gig processor make for a very nice, smooth, fast phone. Now, so you can get an idea. Here's the application screen. So you can see this one's got a neat little UI there on that screen. Now, as far as the extras are concerned on this phone, it comes with all the standards. You know, Google Maps, Google Play, Chrome. I think it has YouTube. The new navigation feature. So pretty much all the standard stuff that you get with Android, you get on this phone. Now, as far as extras go, you do get this FM radio, which is nice. It's not an app; it's a physical radio receiver in the phone. But you will need the headphones to use that. I don't have them connected, so it'll tell you please connect headset. But that's always a nice feature to get, especially in an emergency where you might not have cell phone service. Now, as I said, this is a very smooth performing phone, despite the fact that it's Huawei. I'm not crazy about Huawei's, but this phone is an exception to the rule, at least on the ones that I've messed around with. I like everything about it. The interface is good. Everything is really smooth, as I said. Everything that I've tried performs really nice, really smooth. So, for example, we'll check out Netflix, because that's basically my favorite app. I use that all the time. This phone has absolutely no problems playing it. I think the last Huawei that I tried, I couldn't even start up the app. So, huge improvement there. And as you can see, it plays very smooth, and you probably can't see it on the camera, but the picture quality is very nice on this phone.
Without a tether, you just keep floating up into the atmosphere. I don't know how to thank you. You don't have to.
So no audio sync issues on here either. One thing I will mention is that the sound quality isn't the best on this phone. I actually kind of have a hard time hearing it. The speaker is back here, by the way. So pretty much all the sound comes out of there. So if you have it in your hand and you got the speaker covered up, you're not going to hear much. So you'll probably need to use some headphones on that. Let's see, the texting, that's one of the things that I like about this phone. It's very responsive. I really like this keyboard. I don't know why, because it's pretty pretty much a standard Android keyboard, but I find that it's very accurate. Kind of hard to type while looking through the camera, but times that I've been messing around with it, I find it to be very accurate on the keyboard. And of course you get the swipe and all that. Now this is a texting interface. Now the one thing that I kind of don't like on this phone, and this has kind of been the case on the last two Android 4.0s that I've gotten from Straight Talk, and that's sometimes that address bar kind of gets hidden, and then it's kind of hard to get it back. Let's see, there it is. Because sometimes when you hit up here, sometimes you get this, and you have to kind of play around with it to get that address bar. See, there it is. So that is one quirk that I don't like about it, and that's the address bar on the standard browser. But it's, again, I really like the keyboard on this one. And if you don't want to use that browser, it does have Chrome, which is a much better interface, I think. So as you can see, we don't have that problem with the address bar disappearing on us. It's always there on Chrome. So if you get this phone, I would suggest you use Chrome for browsing. The other browser I'm not crazy about. Then of course, the standard stuff, Google Play, that all works perfectly fine. You can download whatever apps you want. You get YouTube, Google Maps. Google Maps works. This phone's got GPS, so you got Google Maps, and finally, like I said, YouTube, and you won't have any problems playing videos on this thing because it's got plenty of processing power to play YouTube or whatever. So there you have it. If you're thinking about this phone, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the better phones that from Straight Talk that I've played around with in this price range. Again, $150. Performs excellent. You will need the $45 card. Now, if you're hesitant to get this phone because it's a Huawei, I would say not to worry about it, because this is a vast improvement over the previous Huawei phones that they've offered.